But I suppose in two completely different ways. The world was very touching but slightly overwhelming. But I suppose in two completely different ways. The world was...
Who was convinced that the crash was not a simple accident, but a calculated plot. Al-Fayed claimed that Diana and his son were targeted because of their relationship, and that the British establishment couldn't accept the idea of the future king's mother being romantically linked to a Muslim man. These claims were dismissed by official investigations, but they fed a wave of public suspicion that hasn't fully died down even decades later. Despite two major investigations, one by the French authorities and another years later in the UK called Operation Paget, no evidence of foul play was ever found. Both concluded that the crash was caused by a tragic combination of excessive speed, reckless driving by Henri Paul, and the failure of Diana and Dodi to wear seat belts. Still, for many, the official story left too many questions unanswered. And now, years later, with the FBI allegedly uncovering something unusual in Queen Camilla's private quarters, a new wave of speculation threatens to erupt. What could possibly tie Camilla, now Queen Consort, to the mysteries surrounding Diana's death? Is it simply coincidence, or is there truly a deeper layer of secrets the palace has been hiding? Was it a document? A photograph? Something more tangible, or something symbolic? The FBI's alleged discovery, what we know so far. According to unconfirmed leaks circulating on forums and social media, the FBI, reportedly working in cooperation with British intelligence, stumbled across a sealed box during a discreet security inspection related to cyber threats and espionage concerns. While details remain scarce and no official statement has been made, sources claim the box contained personal letters, photographs, and audio recordings that reference Princess Diana directly. Even more shockingly, some sources suggest that these items may include correspondence between Diana and members of the royal family that never saw the light of day, including potential evidence that Diana feared for her safety in the final weeks of her life. If true, this could reignite interest in claims that she believed she was being watched or manipulated. So why would such sensitive material end up in Camilla's room? One theory is that it may have been part of a private archive collected by King Charles over the years, items that Camilla simply inherited as part of her role and relationship with him. Another, more sinister interpretation is that Camilla may have intentionally kept these materials hidden, perhaps fearing the damage they could do to the monarchy's image if released. What happens next? If the existence of these materials is confirmed, the fallout could be enormous. Public trust in the royal family, already shaken in recent years by scandals and media scrutiny, could take a further hit. There may also be renewed pressure to declassify royal archives, or even launch a new inquest into Diana's death, especially if new information contradicts the conclusions of past investigations. But until the FBI or Buckingham Palace confirm the authenticity of this discovery, we're left in a familiar place, where fact and speculation swirl in a fog of royal mystery. Tried, I was never enough for him. I was always being compared, always being judged. These heartbreaking entries reveal the emotional torment that Princess Diana endured behind the walls of royal opulence. While the world saw the people's princess, smiling in front of cameras, attending charity galas, and comforting the sick, her private writings showed a woman fighting silent battles, alone, heartbroken, and desperate for love and understanding. The diary discovery, why was it hidden? The most staggering part of this revelation isn't just what was in Diana's diary, it's where it was found. The fact that these deeply personal writings were allegedly uncovered in Queen Camilla's private bedroom raises uncomfortable questions. Was Camilla aware of the diary's presence? Did Charles hide it there? Or was it something Camilla kept deliberately? Some believe the diary was deliberately removed from Kensington Palace years ago to avoid any potential scandal, a move to protect the monarchy's image. Others argue it may have been kept as a form of leverage or perhaps as a grim reminder of the past. Whatever the motive, the implications are enormous. The diary not only paints a raw, unfiltered picture of Diana's pain but also clearly implicates Charles and Camilla as key figures in her emotional downfall. Public outrage and royal silence. Since whispers of the diary's existence began circulating, royal watchers and Diana supporters have been demanding answers. Social media exploded with hashtags like #JusticeForDiana and #ReleaseTheDiary, with thousands urging for transparency. And yet, Buckingham Palace has remained silent, neither confirming nor denying the FBI's alleged discovery. This silence has only fueled more suspicion, with many feeling the monarchy is once again trying to bury the truth. The emotional legacy of a lost princess. Diana's diary entries reveal not just her suffering, but her strength. Despite overwhelming pain, she channeled her compassion into humanitarian work, shining a light on AIDS patients, landmine victims, and the forgotten. Her words are more than memories, they are a voice echoing through time, refusing to be silenced. "Maybe I was meant to stir things up," she once wrote. To challenge the way things are. And stir things up, she did. Diana's legacy has had an enduring impact on both the royal family and the world at large. Her genuine compassion, willingness to challenge royal traditions, and advocacy for causes such as AIDS awareness and landmine removal completely reshaped the public's perception of the monarchy. She became an icon not only for her grace and elegance but for her humanity, her vulnerability, and her unyielding strength in the face of personal hardship. Her advocacy for mental health and her openness about her own struggles with bulimia and depression helped to spark global conversations about mental illness, making it easier for others to seek help. By breaking the silence on these issues, Diana became a beacon for those who felt marginalized or stigmatized by their struggles. Her courage in sharing her battles also made her seem even more real to the public, elevating her status as the people's princess. Her interactions with the public were always personal, and she was famous for her ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Whether it was comforting patients in hospitals, shaking hands with people suffering from AIDS, at a time when the disease was widely feared and misunderstood, or spending time with children in disadvantaged areas, Diana used her platform to make others feel seen and heard. These actions defied traditional royal protocol, but they allowed Diana to break through the often cold, formal image of royalty and showcase a side of the monarchy that was warm, accessible, and empathetic. Her relationship with her children, William and Harry, also left a lasting impression. Despite her turbulent marriage, Diana was fiercely protective of her sons and worked hard to give them as normal a childhood as possible. Diana was often seen as a mother who wanted her children to have the freedom to express themselves and to understand the importance of compassion, empathy, and service to others. These lessons were not lost on her sons, who have both become significant figures in the royal family, continuing her charitable work and her advocacy for mental health. Perhaps the most profound aspect of Diana's legacy, however, is the way she completely changed the way the royal family engaged with the world. She demonstrated that being royal didn't just mean following tradition, it also meant using one's influence to make a tangible difference in the lives of others. Her contributions to charity work, her breaking of taboos surrounding mental health and personal struggles, and her refusal to conform to the constraints of royal protocol all helped modernize the monarchy, bringing it closer to the people. But, as we now know, Diana's story did not end with her tragic death. Her legacy has been carried on by her children, but also by the millions of people whose lives she touched during her brief time on this earth. She remains a symbol of strength, resilience, and humanity in a world often defined by perfectionism and image. The conspiracy theories and the monarchy's response. While Diana's legacy is undeniably one of love, service, and transformation, it's clear that her death and the subsequent investigations have left a complex legacy in their wake. The suspicion surrounding her death, especially the continued claims of a possible conspiracy, has cast a shadow over her story. The royal family's initial response to her death, largely silent and unemotional, contributed to public dissatisfaction and fueled speculation. Many felt that the royal family's cold demeanor following Diana's death was a reflection of the tension that had always existed between her and the institution she represented. The divide between Diana and the monarchy had been there long before her tragic passing. Her charisma and ability to connect with people often overshadowed the royal family itself, creating tensions that some suggest might have been a factor in the tragic events that followed. Diana's refusal to conform to royal traditions, such as omitting the word obey from her wedding vows, her choice to give birth in a hospital, and her tendency to forego traditional royal attire like gloves and hats, were seen as rebellious acts that highlighted her individuality. These decisions signified that she was determined to define her role in her own terms, even within the strict confines of the royal family. But, in the eyes of some, Diana's unconventional behavior may have been seen as a threat to the established order of the monarchy. The royal family's subsequent handling of her death, particularly the secrecy and lack of transparency surrounding the investigation, continues to fuel suspicions and perpetuate conspiracy theories. Despite these ongoing theories, the official investigations into Diana's death, including Operation Paget, have consistently concluded that her death was the result of a tragic accident. Still, many questions remain unanswered, and the mystery surrounding her death remains a topic of fascination and speculation for countless people around the world. The enduring mystery. As time passes, Princess Diana's life and death remain a captivating and poignant subject. Her diary entries, her defiance of royal traditions, and the ongoing questions about the true nature of her death all contribute to the complex tapestry of her legacy. But perhaps the most enduring part of her story is the way she impacted the world, a woman who, despite the immense pain she suffered, continued to radiate love, compassion, and strength. Her legacy is not just about her royal status or her marriage to Prince Charles, but about her dedication to making the world a better place and her determination to stay true to herself, even when the world expected her to conform. Whether it's the mystery of her death, the controversy surrounding her relationship with the royal family, or the ongoing work of her sons to honor her legacy, Diana's story continues to capture hearts and minds, a testament to the enduring power of her spirit.